Hi, welcome to Two Broadcasting. I'm Beth. I'm married 20-some years, maybe 3, 4, 20, how many?
23.
Oh, 23 years in a row, raising 4 teenagers in the suburbs, trying to survive the day-to-day insanity, and it has been beyond crazy. And I'm sitting here with my co-host.
Hi.
I can't even, I don't even know your name anymore. Who are you?
I am Laura, and I am the divorced broad, because we're Two Broadcasting, by the way.
One single, one divorced.
Yes, you pointed to you as single. Oh, wait. One's married and one's divorced.
Okay, camera left, yeah.
And I'm also a family therapist in private practice. And so that's who we are.
Yes, that is who we are. So welcome to us. Now Laura, who is our single, divorced,
And dating coach. Expert. Yes.
expert,
Yeah.
broke, I understand.
I can't
A little bird told me you broke one of your rules. So if you want to go back to one of our podcasts and find the rules never to break,
Yeah, so
please explain.
Well, I
Do
feel
you
like-
have a note from your for your teacher?
Oh my goodness. I did it. I just did it. Actually, maybe I did it as an experiment and we'll see how this works out. So here's what happened. I broke a lot of rules. I'm going to share it with you guys.
A lot of
Don't
rules?
do what I did. Well,
I'm getting a little,
You're getting a little nervous.
excited here, actually.
So-
Please spill.
I was fixed up first place, so I didn't meet this person, and for the sake of anonymity, we're going to call him Bob, which is not his name. So I met Bob through friends,
Okay.
and Bob called, which is always good.
Good.
He didn't text. He didn't IM. He actually,
Which is a rule.
Which is a rule, so he was good.
Okay.
So he called and asked me out on a date. So that was the easy part. We're going to meet for breakfast. So
and breakfast, breaking a rule, that's okay. Because your first rule is just
Never
to meet
meet,
for a
right.
meal. Don't have to commit to a meal. Just meet for like a quick coffee.
you're right. Here's how I'm justifying that. No, I forgot about that rule. Oh, you're not going to like this story at all. The reason I broke that rule is because we spoke on the phone and I knew people who knew him who said he was a great guy. So I felt, and we knew so many people in common, that I felt we could easily make it through breakfast.
Okay, so she stretched the rules.
But, so I did break it. There was no stretching. You either follow or you break. I broke. That was rule number 1 that I broke. Okay. Then we get to, in our neck of the woods, it was homecoming weekend. You guys, I know, haven't had it yet, but in where I live, they had homecoming, and I had forgotten. This is Sunday. So one of the traditions for homecoming is that the next day, all the girls take their dates out to breakfast. So I forgot, I just thought of another rule I broke. All right, so we show up at a place that's very popular for breakfast at 11:30. And and it is besieged by a bunch of high school kids. So we clearly can't eat there. So I walk into a store that a friend of mine owns, and 2 of my girlfriends are there. And now this guy who I literally have just said, "Hi, Bob, I'm Lori." We now walk into the store where my friends think we already know each other. They jump all over him because as far as they know, I had a boyfriend. They don't know what happened to him. And they said, "Who are you?" And they start bombarding him with questions. And I couldn't tell if he was annoyed or not because he's also very tall.
Okay.
So I was trying to get a read on, is he freaking out? But he seemed very affable. He was rolling
So
with
that's
it.
a good sign that he's able to go with the flow. So
Absolutely.
I like Bob so
Right,
far.
so you could see, keep this in mind so you don't judge me harshly, you could see how I'm warming to him.
Right.
So I finally, and they think Bob and I are an item. So they start showing Bob clothing for me. "Bob, you should buy this for Lori," or "You should buy that for Lori." And I said, that's when I said, "Guys, Bob and I have really just met." So Beth is doing something. If you're watching us, you've noticed Beth has just bent down, but she's back. So Bob, I said, declined on Bob's behalf. I said, "Bob doesn't really know me, so I'm pretty sure he won't be buying me these things." But you know what he did say? Bob said, "Put it on hold."
You're kidding.
Bob, if you're watching, did you call and get him? Anyway, so now Bob and I have decided, because so much time has elapsed, we thought, let's go to a popular sports bar and watch the Bears. We'll do lunch instead.
That's such a good idea.
He was so excited because I suggested it, and he said, "You like sports?" And I really do. So I said, "I really do." And he was thrilled. So we went and we watched the Bears game. We had a beer. Then that really should have been the end of the date. It was already now 2 hours, well past.
That's well past, because rule number 2 is
Always leave them wanting more.
leave them wanting more. That's why a cup of coffee is good. Hello. Da-da-da-da. So already we've broken like 3 or 4 rules, but whatever. So now we're 2 hours into a date.
Yeah, it gets so much worse. So while we were eating lunch, he receives a phone call from a friend or cousin, I don't know what. As it turns out, I actually happen to know the guy who called, and I also know his second wife. And he was invited to the Cubs game. Now, the Cubs played, because they were playing Houston, or
Whatever. Because of the
hurricane,
hurricane, they were playing
play-
up in Milwaukee.
Thank you.
I'm trying to speed the story
Thank
along.
you. So, long story
time's-
short, he says, do you want to go to the
Is
game?
it really going to be a short? No.
It's shorter. Do you want to go to the game? So I said, tonight? You want to go? He said, yeah, it's at 7. So I said, okay, why don't we go home? You go to your home, I'll go to my home, and let's regroup. Let's give this some thought, because maybe we're just on a high from a good first date. But no, he got the tickets.
Oh, wow.
Now he comes to pick me up, which is, I'm thinking, breaking some rule, letting a guy know where you live.
I think that's rule number 5.
He
We'll
actu-
have to recap all these broken
I
rules.
don't even want to know, because it's so bad. So we drove up, had like an hour and a half in the car, so there's even more talking, probably inappropriately sharing information,
that
we
you're
shouldn't
supposed to
have.
keep a little private.
Yeah, I was not doing more mystery, less history, more mystery at all, because you have to talk. The game was a riot.